back to StarrSoap's channel. How are you today? I'm doing good. Today I'm going to be making Pokeballs out of soap. Nice creamy yummy Starr soap. That's right, Pokemon Go is so popular at the moment, so I thought I'd jump on the bandwagon. Come along with me and I'll show you how I make them. Squee! So first things first, I've got some white dough and some red dough, some little round balls, and also some black dough here, and it's all soap dough that I made from my own StarrSoaps. So if you want to see how I make the soapy dough, I will leave a link below and an annotation now directing you to the video where I show you how to make the soapy dough. So my first job is to take my little rounds and to shape them into sort of half rounds. They don't have to be perfect like I thought when I first started. I thought, oh gosh, I have to try to make perfect little half spheres. You don't have to do that, and you'll see soon why. So just kind of roughly shape them using a little bit of powder. You can use cornstarch or anything, but I'm using baby powder because that's what I have on hand, and that's how I'm just forming them into little half rounds. So once you've got your little half rounds ready, it's time to take the two halves and to put them together to make your little red and white Pokeball. So because we've used a bit of powder, we need to damp them very slightly. If you've got a little spray or mist bottle with some water in, it's really good, and hold it at a distance and give the underside of each half sphere a little spritz and then put them together. Once you've done that, they will actually stick together better, and then you can take your little formed ball and you can put it in your palms of your hands and roll it round and round and round and make a perfect little round and red and white ball. So make sure that you use that little bit of moisture to hold the two sides together, otherwise rolling them in your hands is almost impossible. But what you're trying to do here is create little round balls with your two halves. Don't worry too much if the seams of the two colours are not perfect, because you're going to be using a little bit of black dough to go around that part, and you can cover up any mistakes. So that's really awesome. So I found that the first one I made the two halves didn't want to stick together that well, and it was the most difficult one to roll. It's often the way, and then once I kind of got on a roll, pun intended, I was fine. So now that I've got my little Pokeballs ready and I'm just giving them another little roll to make sure they're nice and round and I'm happy with them, I've got this little bit of white dough here that I've rolled out into a little snake, and I'm going to make some teeny tiny little white soap balls. Super little tiny, like full stop size. And I'm showing you how I do that. I take a toothpick and section off the little pieces, and then I take the little piece of dough and I roll it on the back of my hand until it's a little round ball, and there you have it. It's not that difficult, but it is time consuming, and you do have to be patient. You have to be patient with your soapy dough. It doesn't always perform perfectly, and sometimes you have to fluff around, add a little bit of moisture, add a little bit of powder to get it just right. But then once you do, fabulous. So these little dots are going to be they're going to be the button for the Pokeball. So I'm making them all nice and round so they'll all be ready, and I've sped that up for you because it took me a long time, and I know you don't have a long time to sit here watching it. So they're all going into a little tiny red solo cup while I prepare the black dough. So my little black balls are all roughly the same size, but as you can see, when I go to roll them out, they are all different. So I'm just going to work with that, and I just break off bits here and there and share it out. The hardest part for this, I found, was making the little snakes just the right length so that they would go around the Pokeball and meet up again. Because once you've got a half on there, you can't go and put another bit on. That doesn't really stick together that well. So I'm clearing the dust off my board, and I'm going ahead now and I'm rolling out a long snake and a little snake. And the little snake gets rolled up into a little ball, and the long snake goes around the Pokeball. So you can see here I'm having a bit of difficulty getting the length right, and that's what I was just talking about. I ended up giving up and starting again, because you really need your log to be one big long piece that you then wrap around, and that works good. So here we have the first completed little Pokeball, and it looks pretty cute, but it's not complete until it has its button. So I'm just going to get those little white dots back out of the red solo cup and put one on, and you'll see what a difference it makes once the little button's on. Perfect! I'm actually planning on using these little tiny Pokeballs to top some soap cupcakes that I'm going to make, some little Poke soap cupcakes. I'm going to keep the cupcakes very simple with just a green base and white piping, and then place a Pokeball right on top of that. And here we have the final little Pokeballs. And I think they turned out great. I'm just trying to get a bit more light on the situation here for you. So I'm pulling out my torch to try and highlight these little beauties. I'm really chuffed at how they came out. And I used red oxide to achieve that shade of red. And I only just made a little tiny bit of soap with this in mind. This is exactly what I was planning to do. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make them. And this week I would like to highlight River Willow and her beautiful little soapy rose that she made. She said that she learned how to make the soapy dough from our video, and then this is the first time she's actually made something that looks like a rose. I think it's gorgeous, so well done. If you'd like your photo highlighted, come over to our group on Facebook and share it, and you'll see the link below. Well, if you like this video and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, become a member of our family, and feel the soapy love. Bye guys!